like a little glitch there, but we're back, boys. The Punt boys are back after another pretty good week for us all, I think. It's been a pretty good season so far. Really happy. But Taggart, normally I'll let you go first. How did you do last week, and how are you doing?
I'm doing really good, thank you. Fantasy-wise, me and Bish are going at it this week. He's trying to kill my dreams of making the playoffs. Bit of a tactical move, putting in Devontae last night by him, which has paid off. But the Jets defense finally stood up for me and got some points. So looking forward to the fantasy battle regarding the betting. Last week was a pretty bad one for me. One or short of three. I know I fell short. The worst one was a Javonte Williams rush, and I expected a big game. And now I've decided I'm staying away from Denver players as well as Denver the team. So anything Denver, I'm not involved anymore because it just kills me.
I like it. And Bish, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I said Devontae went in last night, and I woke up to a touchdown and some points. So happy about that. But yeah, betting front. 1 out of 3 on the best bets last week. My saver was Jalen Hurts on the touchdown scorer if you bet mine individually. But yeah, not great. 1 out of 3. Achan sailed in. Again, the pass catching running backs, that line was way off. I think it's actually bumped up by 10 points, 10 yards, this week. Jordan Love, 2+ touchdowns. He picked up an injury and left the game. And the surprising one for me that didn't land was Kareem Hunt, 65.5 yards. He had the carries. It was just a tough day. The Raiders, to be fair to him, stood up. It was on 60 yards with about 4 minutes to go. And he had 1 carry for a minus a yard. So, yeah, but want to be. So 1 out of 3. Tough week. Half a unit down on the year. But, I've studied hard this week. So looking to bounce back.
Sorry, lads. I said we did quite well. I think I've selfed didn't I?
Just you. I think you fell asleep 2 weeks ago and woke up today.
Sorry, lads. Well, in positive news, I landed a 6-1. I'll do a bit of a shout-out show off. I hit a 6-1 in the Seahawks-Buffalo game. Jackson Smith and Jigba over 51.5. Kenneth Walker over 23.5. And Keon Coleman over 31.5, and that's all receiving yards. Kenneth Walker had 2 big ones pretty early on. Coleman, I think within the first quarter had hit his. I was worried about Jackson Smith, and I've got to be honest, I fell asleep at the end of this game. I got a bit of an early night on a Sunday for once. I think I had a busy Monday, and I didn't know. And I woke up with you lads saying, "Well done, well done." So I woke up in a great mood on Monday. Yeah, good game. Two average defenses, and I thought plenty to go out there, plenty of scoring. So, yeah, pretty happy with that one, lads. So we'll hopefully this week I've cooked up a few more. I don't know how much I'm up. Don't want to rise it too much, but I think it's a decent amount this year. I should really do the math. But yeah, so a good week's a good season so far. So let's hope I keep on hitting these one a week, 5, 6, 7, 8-1ers.
You're flying, Joe. You're carrying the flag, mate. You're waving it well above for the punt. Well done, pal.
Yeah, well, I think I was down about 50. I don't even want to know how bad of a year I had last year. I know the account wasn't looking that good, so I think I needed a bounce back year after the last one. So I'll take it. We'll get stuck in. Bish, take us through your first bet.
Straight up, we've got Bijan Robinson over 100.5 total yards coming up here. And, Bijan, he's had a bit of a slow start to the year, but the last 3 weeks he's hit 100+ yards in every game. So he's hit form as the team have the flying at the minute. Coming up against the Cowboys that are ranked 31st against the run. The receiver at the minute. And I've just leaned on the receiving yards because last week he had 7 out of 7 catches for 43 yards. Tyler Algier, obviously we know about, eats into the rushing carries. He actually had 12 carries last week. But where Bijan gets it done is in the passing game. So I think I've tried to be a little bit cute and gone yards passing and rushing as well to cover all bases there. So yeah, the Cowboys defense is all over the place. Can't stop the run at all. A lot of injuries. So I just think Falcons are in a bit of form. Bijan's hot at the minute. He's got 4 touchdowns as well in those 3 games. So I'm all on Bijan.
Yeah, I like this, Bish. I think the matchup's great for the Falcons. I think Captain Kirk's well cemented in there. I think this could be a type of game where you could get a bit of a single bet builder going in that game as well, with a few guys to get the receiving overs and Kirk to throw a couple of pass touchdowns. But the Bijan, and like you've said before, Bish could probably throw in the touchdown list as well if you wanted to get the odds a bit better, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like it, Bish. I'll rattle straight onto mine because I've realised I've accidentally copied a bit of yours, so I do apologise. Now, I did them in the car for a 2-hour journey earlier on today, going through it all, and I realised I've kind of nicked a bit of yours. So I'll go it through. It's in the same game, obviously. I've got Rico Dowdle over 15.5 receiving yards going off our Bet365, and all the bookies getting the running back receiving miles off. He's hit this pretty much every week. So again, crazy that it's so low. They must see something I don't, because I think Dowdle, if he is back, gets this very, very comfortably. Tolbert over 42.5. Atlanta rank about 20th, so they're not brilliant decent against the run, not brilliant against stopping the opposition receivers. All of it's going to go on to CD Lamb. I think that leaves Tolbert open. He's very effective with his catches. He had 3 catches for 3 receptions last week. He got about 41 yards, so I guess a bit just under what he got. What the line is, but I think I'm comfortable that it's going to be a bit of a shootout, a lot of throwing, and like you said, the defensive side of the ball for both teams isn't brilliant. And then I've got Bijan Robinson. This is the bit I've copied. Sorry, Bish, I do apologise. Over 24.5 receiving yards. So obviously I've cut out the rushing part. That's his line. If you're going off Bish's, I'll jump in as well and chuck that in, because it's, as you said, Bish. I think it is in for a massive game.
Yeah, like it, Joe. It's one of them games. I think it's going to be a nice scoring game. There's going to be balls getting thrown around everywhere by Dak and by Captain Kirk. I like the fact that you've gone with the Rico receiving rather than rushing, because I think the Cowboys' rushing game is absolutely dreadful at the minute. So Dak's going to have to throw it. So yeah, I think you could be in for another winner here, Joe. I think you've picked the right game there.
I like it. Thank you. And again, apologies, Bish. Didn't mean to chuck it.
Well, let's win twice.
Yeah, let's win it twice. Yeah, I guess if it gives. To be honest, though, whenever we do that, I think there's a curse. It's one of the punt curses that when we have gone double on a bet, it's normally not ended well for us. So let's hope we break the curse this week and we hit this one, because it's all signs are the bookie. In my opinion, the bookies are miles off on a lot of the lines here. Bish, take us through your second bet.
Bet 2, it's DeAndre Swift over 65.5 rushing yards. And again, he's on an absolute burner at the minute. He's hit this line in his last 4 games and added a touchdown in every one as well. So that Chicago Bears offense, apart from last week, the Hail Mary that they conceded, they've been much better. And Caleb's really been flying. So coming up against the Cardinals, well, it's another civ defense against the run, averaging 140 against. And then the last 3 games, last week, Devon Achane ran for 97 yards. The week before, Jordan Mason ran for 89. And the Packers, the week before that, 120 plus for both running backs, Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson. So, another poor rushing defense. And I'm just banking on the running backs. I've gone back to the well. I need some winners. I've gone ground and pound this week. So, yeah, I think DeAndre Swift covers this quite comfortably.
Yeah, I love the matchup against that defense. I think you'll see my treble soon. I've picked the Bears, the slight underdogs in that game, which I just think you've got to take that, because the Cardinals' defense, especially against the run, is so bad. And they expect the Bears to bounce back after that real tough Hail Mary loss last week. So, DeAndre Swift, love this bet. And like you said, you can even have the touchdown as well, Bish.
With your Bish, yeah, he had a slow start, didn't he? So that's probably why the book is still catching up. But NFL, it don't matter. You only need that one game to get going, and then you seem to be good. It doesn't seem to bounce back once you do get that. Once you do start getting it right. So yeah, with your Bish, like it really low against an Arizona shocking defense again. I'll take you through mine. Tag, you may not be happy with this because I have gone with your team's game, and I guess there has been a rule so far: stay away from Denver in the punt so far. But I'm attacking it, and I think for hopefully the right reasons. I've got Flowers under 52.5 receiving yards. Unless I get the matchup wrong and Deontay Johnson is getting marked by PS2, I think it will be Flowers. And if it is Flowers on PS2, or sorry, if PS2 is on Flowers, I don't think he gets near this. He's completely shut down his opposition wide receivers pretty much all year. They've been non-existent. The issue with Denver is obviously a bit of the running game, the tight ends. They don't. The cornerback room has been unbelievable, and I don't think Flowers gets 52.5. He's been playing well in recent weeks, and it's not against Flowers. It's just I just think PS2 is the best cornerback in the league. Tight game. Bo Nix, not amazing at reading every coverage yet. Still learning the NFL. But one thing he has shown us every single week is how good he is as a rusher. They're calling him the mini Josh Allen. So I'm backing him improving. It's going to be, like I said, they're going to need him to do this line of 29.5 in the game anyway against Baltimore. Because if they get too far ahead in the rushing game, let King Henry start dominating, it's all over. I think Nixon will have to run with his legs, make the big plays. I took that line all day long, even though it is pretty high. I took it, and I'm backing the Broncos. I'm not backing them to win as such, but as we say in the punt, we take any line that's more or less than a touchdown, and I think that +9's high. As I said, the cornerback room incredible for Denver. Not brilliant against the run, so it says King Henry, but then for me that also says I don't think there'll be that many scored points. I think Baltimore might be in control the whole game, but I think Denver have enough to just keep it close and keep it tight with their running game also getting going. So it might be a slow one, and I think +9 in a matchup that makes sense for them both in the running game is very high for me.
Yeah, I like total them three, Joe, but I haven't got the Broncos right all year, even though they're my team. I have tried staying away. I love the Flowers unders. I think PS2 has him on lockdown, no doubt about that. And it'll open up for the tight ends of Baltimore, who Lamar's been using a lot. I like the Bo Nix rushing one. The worry for me is just the +9. Baltimore to bounce back. I think they got beat by the Browns. It's in Baltimore, and I have obviously watched every Denver game this year. And when Bo plays against a good defense, he has struggled throwing the ball. So he will rush the ball. We'll rush it a lot with Javonte and that. But again, we just start showing enough to get them first down, especially we're both throwing it sometimes. So I just worry that it just could be a very bad matchup for us Broncos, and the Ravens could end up blowing us out. I hope that ain't the case, and I have got the games wrong a lot with the Broncos this year, mate. So you are probably going to sail in on that. But regarding the two players, I do love the unders on Flowers and the rushing on both for the reasons you've given there, mate.
Thank you.
Just touching on this one as well, I know you said there about Bo throwing the ball, but this isn't a good Ravens secondary. They're leaking points everywhere. I actually like Bo to get some passing yards here. Yeah, I think Deontay Johnson, obviously, he's sort of an outside player. I'm not sure he'll be there enough to come in and command a lot, but if he stays on the outside, possibly Zay drops into the slot, which might keep him a little bit away from PS2, but it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it? So, but yeah, more than likely, I think he'll match up with him. So yeah, I like it. The Baltimore Ravens kept Jaden Daniels to under this line. Actually, I saw it on a short recently. So, but Bo has done the job so far. Was it AFC Player of the Month?
AFC Rookie of the Month, yeah.
AFC Rookie of the Month. So he's in good form. So yeah, I actually like. Yeah, I think Broncos +9 is a good bet.
I'll take that. Bish,
I'll take that. Come on, the Broncos.
Bish, take us through your final bet.
Bet 3, and it's a home pick. It's Kyron Williams over 90.5 rushing yards, and I'm throwing in a touchdown as well. He's been all over this the last 3 out of 4 games. He's hit this line, and I think he's on 10 touchdowns for the year. He's scored at least 1 in every game this season, so it's an ongoing record. Coming up against the Seahawks, it's a divisional game, so I expect it will be played tough to start with. But the Seahawks this year have just been up and down. I think they had the first 3 games flattered them. They played some pretty poor offenses, and then the defense has been shown up, really. They're ranked 29th against the run here. Teams are just absolutely all over them. James Cook, 111 yards. Bijan, 103. Joe, your boy, Garendo, 99 on only 9 carries. And Tyron Tracy for the Giants, 129 yards as well. So the Rams, they do have Cooper's back, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are back, but I still believe they'll run the ball. And going up against this defense, I think they'll have some joy on the ground with Kyron. So, touch wood, this isn't the game where his touchdown run stops, but I think this is a juicy matchup here. So I'm leaning in for a home pick, and hopefully I'll watch this fly home.
Love it. Yeah, great matchup for him, mate. Love it.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing I'd be slightly worried about is the receiving aspect. I think he'll get a lot in the short game reception as well with how good of a receiver he is. But as you said, Bish, I don't think it matters. I think with how good Kyron's been this year, probably it's a good 150, 160 combined here on his receiving and rushing, because I think, like you said, they're so bad at it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a receiving touchdown and the rushing yards. That would be that probably best of both worlds, wouldn't it? And hopefully, I think this one will fly home, Bish.
Fingers crossed.
And my last one, lads, it's the Bet365 Bet Boost of the week. As I say every week, I'll go through them all and pick my favourite one. This is my favourite one this week, and I like my risky ones because I didn't put it down. I apologise. It's 12-1. It's Devon Achane and James Cook, both to get a touchdown and both to get 100+ rushing and receiving yards combined. Similar to what I was saying there, Bish, with Kyron. I think it's going to be a very open game. Devon Achane's pretty much hit this. I think pretty much every game when I looked, he's hit it in. I think there's 1 or 2 that he hasn't. James Cook, it's about half, so that's your risk. Obviously, depending on that thing, but I think everything says a shootout. Miami's defense is shocking, as we saw last week. As Tag said, there's enough there in the offense to keep Buffalo honest. They've not been brilliant anyway on the defensive side. Buffalo, Miami, again, I just don't like the play calls. I don't like the way they work. But what they do get is Devon Achane being very effective on the ball. So I'm pretty confident in that one. Obviously, the risk is James Cook, but I still think he has this. I think this will be a high scoring game. That didn't get covered in the Bet Boost options, but I think these 2 running backs have a brilliant week and another. As I said, it's picking up in fantasy. The fantasy scores have nearly doubled on what they were early on. Offenses are now flying. We're now at the point halfway through the season where they've got it figured out. They've got these defenses on. The over-unders have shot up from low 40s to in the 50s now, and I think this game is definitely in the 50s, and these 2 have a big game.
I think Achane with Tua is hit this line. Yeah, I'd like to say 4 out of 4. He definitely hit it last week. He had 97 rushing last week and over 40 receiving. So, and Buffalo, they're -6, so they were expecting Buffalo to win. And I think Miami don't have a great record traveling to Buffalo, so it could be a ground and pound, and that falls straight into our laps with James Cook. So. As long as Josh Allen doesn't nick his touchdown on the goal line, let's hope it's from like 10-15 out.
Oh, and I lied. It's not 12-1. It's 18-1. That's what it was. Sorry, because that's how exciting it is. It's gone from
a big price. It's a big price, and I like it. I think obviously you can see it happening all day long. It won't surprise you if it happens. I think I expect Bills to win this game. We spoke about it as my overreaction. It could be Mike McDaniels' last game. If they get blown out in Buffalo, is he gone? But even if they're chasing the game, Miami, that Achane's still going to be getting that dump off pass to make up for them yards, what he might not get on the ground. So I think for an 18-1, there's some unbelievable value there in the game. What could be anything.
Like I said, in a game where Achane should be guaranteed it, you're relying on a big James Cook week, which he has hit this line. I think I think it was 4 out of the 8. So you're playing with that with the odds, with the value, aren't you? So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. Tag, down to you, my friend. It's on you. Take us through Tag's treble for the week.
Yeah, so we're going to week 9. I've had 1 6-1 winner, so I'm down overall 2 weeks. I've gone for another 6-1 back to that sweet spot to get well up on the year. We've just covered quite a lot of the game. The first one, my treble, I've gone Josh Allen over 29.5 rushing yards. I just don't think Miami will get that much pressure on him. We've seen Josh Allen do it a million times. I think he'll just skate for the odd first down, and I'm expecting him to clock over the 29.5 quite comfortably, I'd like to think. The second one, and which I think is potentially the most risky, but I've gone for overs 43.5 points in the Panthers-Saints game. It's been announced today that Derek Carr's back, is playing. You're going to see him throw that ball around. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Bish mentioned earlier. It's a lovely matchup for him running the ball, receiving. He's been a bit quiet in the last few weeks. I think Kamara will have a massive game. I think Saints, easily put probably 30 points plus on their own on this scoreboard, and Panthers just need to nick 1 or 2. So I love the overs on that game. And then my last one, there was slight favourites, the Bears. They play the Cardinals. I just think I love that matchup for the Bears defense, and I think they're going to be fuming about the Hail Mary pass, what's cost them. I like what the Bears are doing this year, and I think Swift, the way he's running, it's a great matchup for him, as Bish explained earlier. So it's a 6-1 treble, and one I can get behind this week and be excited to hopefully hit.
Yes. Anything, Joe?
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah, I love it. I think, like you said, hopefully Bish is right in his analysis of my bet with with them pounding the ball, the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, with both of us, hopefully we both do well on that one. Panthers Saints. I'm surprised it's so low. I think Olave's back. Was he back last week? But I think he's definitely
back. But he was back last week, but obviously Derek's back this week.
Derek's back this week. Olave's was back last week. So that's your wide receiver 1, QB back. A lot of points scored. I think Kamara might get this in points single-handedly. We know what he does against poor defenses. He just absolutely he just goes stupid, doesn't he? He'll get 2 or 3 touchdowns, I imagine, a load of receiving yards. I think he goes mental. Alvin Kamara, it's the perfect matchup for him. And then, like I said, the Panthers have a sneakily okay offense. I think the stats early on in the season was that their offensive line is one of the best in the league. Like you said, they've got a young core of receivers. They're going deep in now. I think I was a week late. I was 1 or 2 weeks early when I had it early on with the Xavier Legette, but it looks like they're now using him more and more. I can't remember the other rookie who had a good week last week. That's poor of me. But there's another rookie. Coker. Who had a decent game. I think they're going all in on him. Obviously, they've traded Deontay Johnson away, which a lot of people criticise, but I think it's because they're happy with these young wide receivers. And Adam Thielen may be back. He's doubtful, but he may be back. And if he is back, I think you've smashed it, Tag. Bears win from scratch. Yeah, easy. We cover.
Yeah, just to reiterate, Saints are due a big game. You know, they started 2-0, they then lost 6 on the bounce. So that we're due to see. I agree with you, Kamara. I can see him having 2-3 touchdowns. And it's time for Olave to hit the ground running. The big one for me is the Bears. I think we'll find out what the Bears are about. A loss like that can either galvanise you or it can just tip you over the edge. So I think we'll see what the Bears are about. And with Caleb Williams, you know, the sort of character he is and the strong defense, you'd like to think they bounce back against the Cardinals. They're a bit up and down. 1 week they're amazing. The next, you don't know what you're getting from the Cardinals. So, yeah, I think that's it's a big get right game for the Bears, that one.
And they benched the cornerback again. I need to be better with my names, but they benched the cornerback that did the infamous viral play where he's shouting at the fans and tipped it on. He's now benched. I think only for the week as a punishment for being that daft, but. So hopefully they're galvanised and show them what they're all about. Like it. Sure. Final one, lads. We can rattle all off. It's the punt touchdown treble. We'll rattle off our players and give a little explanation. Mine's Sam Laporta. Quiet all year, finally getting going. Obviously, tight end day had a touchdown. he's getting thrown to a lot. I think he's not quite getting as open as he was last year. There's a lot of ones where he's either dropping just or getting covered, but that he's getting thrown to by Goff. I think they're going to start getting him going now. They don't have Jameson Williams isn't playing, obviously hasn't the last couple of weeks, and I think they need to get Laporta going just to keep it there. I think the running backs are going mental, and I think Laporta's the man where they can't guard everyone, and I think Laporta's now the man with the talent to be the one getting open more and more each game.
Yeah, I've gone Brian Robinson Jr. I actually nearly went with him in my treble for his overs on the rushing. I love Washington's matchup against the Giants' rush defense. We saw what Saquon Barkley did against them a few weeks ago. Brian Robinson's a top player, runs the ball well, and every time they get near that goal line, he's the back they put in to get over that line. I do like his rushing overs. Just missed out on my treble, but I'm taking in my touchdown treble because I love the matchup.
And I'm coming in with AJ Brown, coming up against the Jags. He's scored 3 out of 4 games. The Jags are 31st against the pass. I think he gets over quite comfortably. Apologies, Gary, again. One of our fans. It didn't work last week. We love, but it's going to work this week with AJ Brown. And that's coming in at about 13.5 to 1, depending on what bookie you put it on with.
Love it. Yeah, good week, lads. I think we've analysed all of them to death, haven't we? So let's review them. I think
you're doing your shorts.
Yeah, big week on the way. Let's get the shorts, Bish.
Bet 1 is Bijan Robinson over 100.5 total yards. Bet 2 is DeAndre Swift over 65.5 rushing yards. And bet 3 is Kyron Williams over 90.5 rushing yards and an anytime touchdown.
Mine is in the Denver v Baltimore game. Zay Flowers under 52.5 receiving yards. Bo Nix over 29.5 rushing, and the Broncos +9. In the Dallas-Atlanta game, I've got Rico Dowdle fitting our running backs, getting open receivers, get over 15.5, really low. Jalen Tolbert over 42.5 receiving, and Bijan Robinson as well, another running back over 24.5 receiving yards. And then the Bet365 Bet Boost, check all the things. It should be there as an option. It's 18 to 1. Achan, James Cook, touchdown each, and 100 combined rushing and receiving yards.
My treble, tags treble, 6 to 1. Josh Allen over 29.5 rushing yards. The Panthers versus the Saints over 43.5 total points. And the Bears to win from scratch, nearly evens 10 to 11. Nice 6 to 1 treble.
Love it. And then the touchdown treble, I've got Sam Laporta. Bish has Tag has Brian Robinson, and Bish has AJ Brown. It's a good week, lads. Watch the full show for the breakdown. But Bish, give us your final thoughts.
I'm looking forward to week 9. Please like, subscribe, get your bets in the comments. Well done to John on X, who won his touchdown. Aka, who put it in. I think he didn't have as much on as he wanted, but hopefully he's building some confidence for this week. So I'd like to see what you're going with this week. But yeah, again, enjoy week 9. You know, it's crazy. We're almost halfway through the season now. So hopefully we'll land some bets and have a good red zone.
Come on, lads.